Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Slightly nervous, as always, but for me, I'll just give you a brief intro to how I came to Yeldall. Sort of started drugs quite early age, 12, sort of, can I say, amphetamines, LSD, sort of base and that sort of stuff. And I had a lifestyle that dictated what Mark was doing with the family and stuff, saying if you're linked into the family, I grew up with family of drug dealers and drug addicts, so it was a natural progression. And for me, that was who I am, that's what I'm going to become. And it was, years down the line through institutions and stuff, going to prison, as a result of my addictions and my behaviour. I came to a place called Yeldall Manor, and it was just through the skin of my teeth. It was sort of last resort, and I remember I was in prison with a guy who else was on the programme called Gary Halls, and we both applied for very different rehabs, but eventually we both landed at the same place, and it was sort of a godsend, because I didn't know what to expect, but it was a godsend, and eventually got there, and I was a typical young lad. I was only 24, so I was full of beans, didn't know who I was, didn't have an identity. I just thought I was just, blah, blah, blah. And eventually got to this place where I could grow as a person, as an individual. And I was looking at the video, and that was when I was just coming to the end of the programme. And there's various guys I was on the programme that helped bring me along to where I am today. And it's quite sad, because I look at it with nostalgia, and it's a beautiful thing, but it was a place of growth. I had nothing to offer the world before I went there, and I feel like I have got something to offer now. And it's, digressing a bit, but the other day I was speaking to my mum, and the fact I could tell my mum that I love her, not because I want something out of her, but I want to be able to get something from her, is the fact that I loved her, and it was just a beauty inside that. My sister, she's pregnant, and I'm thinking, 4 years ago I didn't give a rat's arse about that, and it's the fact that I can love, and not for my own selfish reasons, because I didn't love myself, and that was a big thing for me the other day. And so I went through Yeldall, very sort of testing time, and it was a blessing. And I started doing volunteer work when I was there, got a few skills working in debt management, sort of debt counselling, that sort of stuff. And then I left, and as a volunteer, the guy you've seen on the tractor, he was a Scottish volunteer, but he was intrinsic to part of my recovery, helped bring me along, supported me from day one, and we moved in. He left the programme and eventually got married and stuff, which was really cool. And we moved in together, and he just brought me along, and it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna dress it up. When I first left Yeldall, I was a young lad that had sort of got some sort of normal life back, and I wanted to enjoy it, And I, wasn't, all plain sailing for the first 3 months, but with the support of this guy and the support around me, and I had to put a lot of work into my community, because it didn't come on a plate. I had to do the work, and that's scary for me, because I'm quite an introverted person. So for me, I had to build all these friendship networks, support, and it was a nervous time. But I look back at it now, and I see friends like there's another guy on the DVD that we meet up regularly to go for meals, have coffee, and it's just that continuous peer support in a working environment. When before, the only peer support, well, it wasn't even support, it was just where a couple of addicts get together, use some gear, rob each other. Oh, you man more than me. It was nothing substantial, and now I have got something substantial. Something that's strong, and something that gives me a sense of purpose. Also, it makes me feel like I've achieved something. However little it is, I've achieved something, and I'm clean today, so, that's testament. And now I work as a support worker, and I work for a food bank in Reading, helping other addicts like myself. All right?
It's not a little thing, Tony. It's fantastic. And you were here at the cafe last month, bringing someone along, supporting them. It's fantastic. So well done.